Today is June 14th, 2018, and I wanted to give a little bit of an update on my 2018 garden. It's a lot different than last year's garden, so I'm going to start with probably the biggest change is I have some corn growing here. It's my first year growing corn, and I think it's all hybrid varieties. These ones aren't doing nearly as well as the rest, but these were planted kind of later. I am doing a Three Sisters garden, so I have corn, sweet corn, and then I have a few different types of pole beans growing. So this row here, we have some long beans. These are Chinese Mosaic Long Beans. I believe they grow to 12 to 18 inches, and they're kind of like a purplish and white, and I guess they're super crisp, and you pull them when they're tender, and that's basically when they're the best to eat is when you have pulled them when they are tender. This row right here, we have some dry beans, which are actually Cannellini beans. They're the kind of like the white navy beans that you see, typically used in Italian cooking. You let those ones dry on their plant, on the bean plant itself. The third row here, we have a green bean, which is actually called Kentucky Wonder, I believe. They are green bean. You can either let them dry on the plant and they will be good as a dry bean, or you can pick them when they're tender and eat them like a green bean. This is my mystery pumpkin plant. This is about how big the leaves are. Not too impressive. I think it's an Atlantic giant, but it could be a Jarradale. Just really not too sure at this point. Not going to be sure until we get a female blossom on there. My problem is that I started a bunch of seeds. I've been transferring them to my dad's farm, and my seeds got mixed up, and I made the mistake of not labeling each container. I just thought I would do blocks. I picked this one because it had the biggest new leaves. They were significantly bigger than all the other ones, and so I assume that this one is the Atlantic giant. I will be happy with either, but I kind of did want to try to grow like a giant pumpkin this year, so it is what it is, but this is what we have. It is starting to send out its runner here, which I need it to go that way, so I'm beginning to vine train with my my pumpkin sign there. But yeah, got a bunch of male flower. Let me zoom there. A bunch of male flower plants, or flower blossoms. My rhubarb's still trying to do its thing. I've already harvested, but probably harvest one more time before the end of the season. I have a Burpless cucumber growing there. I'm not sure why this one is so saggy. It gets plenty of sun. Cucumber plants are kind of finicky though at the beginning, so I'm just going to attribute it to that. I also have some new little sprouts coming up for backup, and those are going to be Marketmore's heirloom variety. I also have another more prolific kind of cucumber plant here. This is going to be a straight 8, this is a Burpless, but the backups that I have coming in are straight 8s, and I may leave one up, not sure. This is my amazing, I would say this has got to be at least 4 feet, 4.5 maybe. Brandywine. It's huge. It's already outgrown its oversized tomato cage, but I do have it staked down here. So last year, I don't know if anybody followed me last year, but I had a brandywine that was approaching maybe 12 feet before it came down. Roots were too shallow, soil was too moist, plant was too tall. Not good. Let's go over here for a sec. I have some Alpine strawberries here. These are pineapple Alpine strawberries. I grew these from seed starting in March. I also grew my everything basically from seed. So yeah, we got, let's see if we can zoom in there. Got quite a bit of strawberries. I wish I could show you them all. I would estimate we have at least 50 to 70 strawberries, and it just keeps blooming. So I assume it's going to be blooming throughout the summer, like it says in the books. And then next to that, little companion for them, I've got some bush beans. I think these are the Blue Lake bush beans. I forget what these ones are called. These ones are French, some or rather, I don't remember, but I got 3 different types of bush beans growing in there. And hopefully that'll replace the nitrogen in the soil for my Alpine strawberries. And here I just got the opposite of an Atlantic giant. I got some Jack B. Littles growing here. It's gonna grow up this makeshift trellis that I crafted the other day. So yeah, I think that it will probably outgrow the trellis, but we'll see. I have my Titan sunflower here. This was a backup because I had some early aphid infestations on my sunflowers. I actually found some on my brandywine as well, and sprayed a mixture of dishwashing detergent and water, and damaged some of the leaves. So I kind of panicked and I planted some extra sunflowers for backups, and this one I decided to keep because my Jack B. Littles didn't sprout in here. I've been having a heck of a time with squash this year. This is a Mammoth Russian. This is the one I thought I was going to have to replace. It's still, I mean, you can see why I thought that. But the newer leaves look fine, and it's growing steadily, so I'm not too worried. And then before I end the video, I'll show you my other sunflowers. These are my alley sunflowers. This is part of the garden that gets the most amount of sun. My hostas, my maple, got some beautiful daisies that grow there. This is my little sunflower patch here. Let me get over here. So here's the sunflowers. They're about 4.5 feet tall. This is a Sunzilla. This one is the Mammoth Russian. This one's a Titan. And then all these other ones are kind of mystery. We don't know. It's either a Sunzilla, a Mammoth Russian, or a Titan. And then I have some poppies thrown down in there, and I think some black-eyed Susans as well. So yeah, that's the update. That's what the 2018 garden is doing this year. Should be interesting. See what happens. All right, talk to you later.